today we're participating in rounds 7, 8 and 9 of the Aus-NZ Combined British Touring Car Championship. This is Triple Crown Racing, let's get into it. Hello everybody and welcome back to Aus-NZ Combined British Touring Car Racing, and this weekend takes us to Oulton Park after a pretty disastrous weekend at Donington. If you haven't seen Donington, I'll just give you a quick rundown of what happened. I ended up on my roof, and I think that perfectly sums up how that weekend went. So obviously I'd be looking to do a little bit better this time out at Oulton Park. Now, if last time out went pretty terribly, just bear this in mind. I'm a big believer in the idea that good things come to those who wait. Now, take that as you will, but you'll see how that pans out through the course of the episode. Again, I do apologize that I know if you race in this championship, you know that this happened months ago, but I'm just getting them out now. I try to put as much effort into them as possible, so I do all this editing, and I think the product's pretty good. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you think I could do a little bit better. So here we are coming into the final couple of corners, and we're on the run now towards the, well, it's sort of the last corner, but there's a little bit of a kink going up towards the start-finish line on the hill. So here's the last/second to last corner here at Oulton Park, and on the run towards the line now. We crossed the line with a 1 minute 28.9, which is good enough for third in practice at the time, but we eventually went faster. We did a 1:27.8, which was good enough for 10th. However, the times are pretty close, so there is definitely room and opportunities for improvement. Right, so we're top the session, followed by Darkest Unicorn, Emu, Lucky Fives, Night Pegasus, Whopper, Blue Falcon, Highlander, Masuzo, and myself. And I think there were a couple of drivers in 11th, 12th, and 13th, but I can't quite see them. So let's just see how we do in qualifying. So here we are coming to the end of our fastest lap in qualifying. We already have a 1 minute 29.5 on the board, but we'll be looking to improve. We come across the line now with a 1 minute 27.1, which is good enough for 4th at the time. And at the end of the session, it was good enough for 9th place, with Darkest Unicorn again on top of the timing sheets, followed by Right Sower, Emu, Lucky Fives, Whopper, Highlander, Blue Falcon, Masuzo, myself, and Nuclear Chocolate rounded off the top 10. So that is the starting grid for the first race of the weekend here at Oulton Park. Let's see how we get on in the Monster Energy Renault Megane. So here it is, the moment you have all been waiting for. It's just about time for race 1. The revs rise, the lights are coming on, and it's green flag. It's a go here at Oulton Park. And already Nuclear Chocolate behind us has gotten a blinder of a start and has made his way up to 9th. But this doesn't look like it's going to end well. It's 3 wide on a few separate rows, and there's definitely contact into turn 1. There's a car around. I couldn't quite see who that was. I think that was Falcon and Masuzo. Meanwhile, Emu's also off the road as well, and we're going to take advantage of that going into turn 3, and there's another car off the road as well. I think that's Lockie off to the side in the Mercedes A-Class, and Emu, he spins around in the background. So already a few corners in, we've gone from 9th to 5th at the start of the race, and there's certainly a few more opportunities to gain a few more positions. Now fast forward later into the lap, Whopper and Highlander, they're going at it into the final corner, and Whopper, he's a little bit slow off the final corner. I'll try and take advantage of this. Let's see if we can get by on the start-finish straight. There's not a lot of room for it, and I'm almost on the grass trying to get by him, but I eventually back out, and Whopper holds on to 4th place for the time being. Now, we've made it safely through the first corner, which is slightly difficult to believe, and we're still chasing down Whopper and Highlander, but Whopper, he runs off the road in the Opel Astra, and I think he has a slowdown penalty because he lets us go by up into 4th position, and now Highlander is the only driver who stands between me and a podium position. Now fast forward to the end of lap 2. Oh, and it's Reitzower. Reitzower's gone around in the final corner in one of the other Renaults, and now we're onto the podium by only lap 5, up from P9. Now chasing after Highlander. Unfortunately, we run a bit wide in the second to last corner, and Whopper takes full advantage, getting himself up into 3rd position. Now fast forward to lap 7, still chasing down Whopper for 3rd position. Whopper, he's a little bit loose, coming off turn 2. Let's see if we can take advantage. We might try and go to the inside. Oh no, looks like we're going to try for the outside in the hairpin. Can we outbrake Whopper? It doesn't look like we can. Whopper, he's slow on the inside of the corner, and we actually run into the back of him, but no one goes off the road, and unfortunately I just stay in 4th place for the rest of the race, but it's still a relatively strong result considering where we came from. So we gained a lot of positions in that first race. Let's have a look at the results now. Darkest Unicorn won the first race of the weekend, followed by Highlander, Whopper, myself, Nuclear Chocolate, Masuzo, Emu, Locky Fives, Night Pegasus, and Hectic Buzzard rounded off the top 10 for race 1 here in the British Touring Cars. So after the first race, we've put ourselves in a pretty decent position to do well. Unfortunately, we will have 4th place BOP, so that might make our lives a little bit harder. Now, fast forward to the start of race 2. We could actually get ourselves onto the podium, but it won't help if we nearly get a jump start. For some reason, we started in 4th, but regardless, we haven't got the jump start penalty, and we are away here for race 2, and it's all pretty reserved. However, we do have a Nuclear Chocolate having a look to the outside in turn 1, and there's a bit of chaos up front. It looks like Highlander went into the back of Darkest Unicorn, and Whopper nearly got caught up in that as well on the run down towards turn 2. We try to the outside of Highlander. Our car's a little bit loose, but we hang on to it, and we're chasing Highlander down towards the hairpin. We might try and make a move to the outside, but Highlander, he goes to the outside of Whopper and just goes straight on, and there's a gap on the inside which we take full advantage of. There's a little bit of contact, but whatever the case, we're up into 3rd position, taking advantage of Highlander running too wide. Now, on the run towards the chicane, well, Highlander, he arrives at warp speed, and he's gone into the back of us, and we're off the road in the chicane, and we're getting penalties as well. We had to give the position back to Whopper, and we got a slowdown penalty to add insult to injury, and it looks like Masuzo, he's going to take advantage of it. He goes up into 4th position, and unfortunately we are off the podium. Now fast forward to lap 8. Whopper, he's going slowly ahead of us. I think he might have had a slowdown penalty, but we're also under pressure from Reitzower, who takes full advantage of me going a little bit wide. He finds quite a small gap, which he's now taking advantage of coming down the straight. We're side by side going into the chicane, and Whopper, Reitzower, he outbrakes himself, but then he rejoins onto the track and goes into us, and then he keeps the position. Now, I know that's not really what happens here in Aus-NZ. It doesn't happen a lot, and these touring cars make people go a bit crazy. However, that is no way to overtake people, and I don't really agree with that. Now, fast forward to lap 8. Reitzower, he goes a little bit off the road, and Locky, he takes advantage of us going wide, and we get sort of pushed off the road, and now we're under pressure from Emu, so we're being pushed around here a little bit. I'm not a big fan of it, but whatever the case, Emu, he has a look to the outside on lap 9. Can he make the move stick? No, he can't, because he just runs straight on at the last corner, and we're going to hold on to 6th place for the end of race 2. So we move down a little bit. And actually, this is 5th place because somebody had a massive penalty. I'm going to work out who that was. Now we'll see the results here now, and it was Masuzo taking the victory, and it was Reitzower who picked up a 9-second penalty. Darkest Unicorn finishing the race in 2nd with Whopper in 3rd. Locky Fives in 4th, me in 5th, Highlander in 6th, Emu at 7th, Reitzower in 8th. Statesman in 9th, and Nuclear Chocolate rounded off the top 10 for race 2. And now we're moving on to race 3. We're on the grid. We're starting from 5th. let's see what we can do in the final race of the night. Let's go racing one last time here at Alton Park, and I can't believe it. Misuzo and Whopper drive-throughs off the start, and that's a disaster for them. And whatever the case, we've also gotten an amazing start, moving up from 5th to 3rd on the road, and both Whopper and Misuzo will have to make drive-through penalties, which means that we are effectively in the lead of the race. And there he goes, Whopper, he pulls off for his drive-through penalty, with Misuzo making the decision to stay out in first position, maybe seeing if he can extend a gap. Now, unfortunately on lap 2, we were in effectively the lead of the race, and, well, we lost it in turn 2, and unfortunately we're going backwards here on lap 2. That's a bit of a disaster, but we're in 4th, and we're still relatively close to the front 3, so maybe we can make up a few more positions. And we actually have caught up to them, because Darkest Unicorn, he's gone off the road and ended up in the wall, which means only Right Sower and Misuzo stand between me and first position. And Right Sower, he goes off the road, which means that we go up into second position, but then Lockie's there on the inside, but he yields, and we remain in second place. It's almost as if some higher power is trying to get me to win this race, because we're in second, and Misuzo, he currently leads with a drive-through penalty. Now, we were talking over Xbox Party, and Misuzo, he decided to just let us through and then make his drive-through penalty. He lets me through, but then Misuzo checks up trying to enter the pit lane, and he accidentally holds up Lockie, which means Lockie has lost time to us and nearly goes off the road himself. So on lap 10 of 11, we've been leading the race since Misuzo made his drive-through penalty, and it's been mostly clear roads ahead of us, but at the end of the race, Right Sower and Lockie, they're beginning to catch up, so it looks like the race lead may be contested here. I wanted this race win so badly. It would only be my second league race win ever, and my first actually official one. And I was shaking all over. I was struggling to keep my feet on the pedals. I was that nervous, which wasn't helping my case. Because Right Sower, he looked very, very racy behind us, and it looked like he was going to have a move into the hairpin, but he doesn't do it this time. But he's very racy on exit. He does have a 1 second penalty to contend with, so he's going to want to get by as soon as possible if he wants to pull out a second gap into the chicane for the final time. He holds station, but he's still very, very close to us. The gap is so small on the final lap of the race, which wasn't what I wanted. We've only got a few more corners to navigate, but Right Sower will take advantage of any mistake that I make. Into the second to last corner, we keep it on the road. Right Sower, he runs a little bit wide. He keeps it on the straight and narrow though, but he's still too far back now. He's now fallen 7/10 behind. We're all clear. Only one more corner to navigate, and it's up the hill, and we are about to win in Alton Park for only the second time in our league racing career history. We've done it. We've won for the second time, and I was over the moon, and I still am over the moon watching this. It was an absolutely incredible race, and I wanted that win so badly. If last race went so horribly wrong, this race went right, and I actually checked there to see I had definitely won it. I was so happy with that. I still am. So here are the race results. You'll see them in a moment. We've taken victory. We've done it. We've taken home the big prize, followed by Lockie, Right Sower, who had that 1 second penalty, Emu, Blue Falcon, Whopper, Night Pegasus, Highlander, Statesman, and Misuzo rounded off the top 10 for race 3 of 3 this weekend. Now, Night Pegasus actually said at this point, you've gone from flying high, of course alluding to when I was flipped over, to flying high, which is of course referring to me winning. And look at that! Well, it's 25 points on the board, and we've won the round. We've won the round, and I'm amazed at that. We've won Alton Park overall. Does it get better than that? I don't think it does. That's brilliant, and I was over the moon with that. So, the second of hopefully many race wins. I hope you enjoyed this round at Alton Park, and until next time, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.